Okay, for this episode, let's start adding the functionality of picking a number here, a quantity, adding it to the cart, and it's going to save it in our state. And we're not going to see it on the screen yet, so what I recommend you doing is installing this React.js DevTools here. All right, so click on that, go over to your browser. I'm using Chrome, and make sure you install that. And once that's installed, it should pop up here in the corner, and you can enable it just like that. Okay, and now what you can do is here in the arrows, if you click on it, you can click on components, and you can see all your different components. And you can also head over to a specific one. You can select this little button here. I believe we can click on this. There we go, product details. So I can click on this, and we can also see the state that we're using here. See, we can expand that, and we can see quantity 1 here. Increase, decrease quantity, show cart, false. So if I increase this number, look at that, that updates. So essentially we can pass down cart items as well in here, and then we can visually see it. So let's do that. Let's quickly pass that down. So let's head over to our context, get this cart items, and just pass it down here. Cart items like that. Okay, just so we can see it. And here, let's go over to our slug and import it up here. Okay, let's see, can we see it now? And yes, we can. So there it is. Actually, we can just click on state context and we can see it. We don't even need to pass this down. There we go, see? So false, number 5. Perfect. So it's just an empty array, our cart items now. So let's add the functionality to change this. So again, all of our logic is going to be in this context here. So let's see how we're going to do this. So we have increase, we have decrease. Let's make another one called add product to cart. Okay. Let's call this const on add, set this equal to, and I want to pass down the product here and the quantity that the user picked, and set this equal to an arrow function like that. So let's pass this down on add, and this is going to go in our slug here, our product description basically. So we're going to add it here on add, and basically, when we click on add to cart, I want to run this function, right? So again, what we need to pass down is the product and the quantity. Well, the quantity we have available, the QTI, right? Because that's already saved in the state. So here's my quantity. See, that's always synced up nicely here. So that's going to be my second argument. So I can do on add here. So on click equal to, I'm going to run an arrow function and say on add. So the second argument is going to be QTI, and what's going to be our first argument here? Well, we have the product here. So data products data 0. That's going to be our actual product. So let me make sure I do this correctly. Let's go over to product, data products, data 0 dot attributes. Okay, that's going to be our second argument. If I console log this out, you can see it. See, this is where we're pulling all of our data from. Just console log that out. Just head over to console here really quickly. See, so that's our actual object with all the data. All right, so that's the first argument, and the second one is the quantity. So we have both of them available in here now. So that's great. Okay, so what I want to do first of all, let's go over here to our components again, is I want to make sure, I want to check if the product is already in the cart. Because essentially what I want to do is, if the product is already in there, then just if a user clicks on it again, just increase the quantity of that product. I don't want to add a new entry of it. If it doesn't exist, then add a new item to the cart. Okay, so we'll do a check if the product is already in the cart. And the way we can do that is say const exist is equal to cart items. So we're checking this array here, this empty array from our state. We're gonna find an item, and if the item.slug matches the product.slug, all right, the product that we're actually passing in from here, then it's gonna return us an exist here. So if it exists, if exist, then I want to set the cart items, and I'm gonna map over the cart items.map, and for each item in here, what I want to do is say item.slug triple equals product.slug. I'm going to add a question mark, dot exist, comma, quantity, exist dot quantity plus quantity. All right. You're like, what the hell? Or else item. Let me hit save so you can see that. Okay. What in the world are we doing here? So let me go through this. So again, this does a check. It checks the array to the item that we're passing in, the product slug. If it exists, then we're going through the cart items, we're looping over it, and if it matches, so if the item slug matches the product slug, if this is true, we're basically passing down the object in its state. So like the title is going to be the same, the description is going to be the same, the slug is going to be the same. So this basically is like we're spreading the rest of the properties, but we're only updating the quantity of it. So whatever quantity there was in the cart, we'll add whatever the user clicked on again. All right, so hope that makes sense. It's a bit funky, I know, the logic here, but essentially, again, we're checking if it's in there, then just update the quantity of it and leave the rest of it untouched. So that's one. So else here, we can just say, well, else it doesn't exist. So we can do set cart items, and we can do dot here in an array cart items. Again, this dot cart items means that just spread the rest of the items, just keep the rest of the items intact in case there already were items in there. Don't mess with them, comma, but add this new one. So dot product with the quantity of quantity. Okay. So if I already had 3-4 items in the cart, I don't want to reset it. Just keep them in there and then add the new product with the quantity having the number, whatever the user passed down in. So let's see if that works. So I have 2 here, click, and look at that, it added an object here. Let's open this up with a quantity of 2. All right, so now it exists already in here. So it's gonna go in this check. It's going to look over all the different items that are in this array. In this case, it's only 1. It's going to check, oh, okay, item slug matches the product slug that we're clicking here. So make sure you update the quantity of it and add to it here. Boom. Let me do a refresh of that. I moved something. So 1, there we go. And then let's add 5 more. And look at that, it just updates the quantity to 6. It doesn't add a new object in here. Let's try another one. Let's go over to this one, add 2. And let's see. Does it work? Doesn't seem to work. Oh, it does actually. There we go. Cool red hat. So that gets added there. Let's go over to this one, add 2 more of these. Yeah, works just fine. Let's add one of these. And there we go. All right, so that's the logic behind that. Okay, so that's one. I think that's gonna be it for this one. We're gonna continue adding other stuff in the next episode. So I'll see you there.